Welcome back! It's another episode of JDM. This time, we're in Azerbaijan, Baku. It's a street circuit. It's a bit of a mixed bag. Sometimes we can go well here, sometimes not. But there we are in the garage getting ready for Q1, and that's coming up next. Joining on board then in Q1. Oh, take a big chunk of curb there. That's unsettled the car. We undoubtedly would have lost time through that section. And again, not a very good entry to that corner either. So this lap looking a bit scruffy, and we're going to see where it pops us out as we get to the end of Q1. So Michael fastest in Q1, we were down the back, so dismayed I didn't even scroll down.
And a warm welcome to you from Azadlik Square, heart of Baku, and home of course to the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. With high speeds, tight corners and few runoff zones, many are expecting a safety car here today. So our drivers will have to stay very much on their toes and hopefully out of the barriers. The Baku city circuit measures roughly 6 kilometers and it's made up of 20 corners and 2 DRS zones. The circuit winds around the narrow city, through the old town, and even brushes against the city's medieval walls. However, as beautiful as the setting is, this track is also a ferocious technical challenge, where the smallest of mistakes could lead to a catastrophic consequence for any one of our drivers. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. An immense lap from Carlos Sainz yesterday puts him in pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Norris, Max Verstappen and Russell, Perez, Michael Schumacher, Ricciardo and Lance Stroll, Ocon, Magnussen, Sebastian Vettel and Albon, Mick Schumacher, Tsunoda, Pierre Gasly and Guan Yu Zhou, Ticktum, Gardner, Latifi and Valtteri Bottas begins the race from the back of the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. And with me today, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Gardner. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
They've been avoiding mistakes and have had solid pace, so it's been a good season so far, but whether they can keep that up long term remains to be seen.
The formation lap gets underway and every driver will be looking to settle in for the race ahead, making sure that their car is ready for the battle once the lights go out.
So we end up 20th on the grid, would have been 21st if not for Bottas's penalty, probably due to some sort of engine related penalty, maybe the gearbox. But either way, he starts from the back. We start in 20th. Michael showed good pace, obviously top in Q1, but then went on to finish P8. So our car is good by all accounts from what Michael's been showing. So we obviously just didn't hook the lap up, but we need to just unlock the pace throughout the race. Hopefully we're going to be able to do that and take it to the guys at the front, because Leclerc is not going to stop. Away we go then, and we see a lot of space on the inside. We dive up a whole heap of cars, bump the Haas on the way into turn 1. Luckily don't get any damage. We do get a warning for the collision, but we also decide to be brave again and dive up another couple of cars. Another front row lockout for Ferrari then. This time Carlos Sainz on pole, he's on the left, Leclerc on the right, and they get what looks to be a good getaway, and Sainz chopping off Leclerc, moving to the inside of the track, trying to defend that position. They go side by side into turn 1. Looks like Sainz has got the slightly better run though, and Leclerc tucks in for turn 2. Ferrari fully in control, as the chasing pack is already breaking back a little bit from these two. So coming down the DRS straight, it looks like Stroll on the outside got very ginger on the brakes, didn't fancy it, braked quite early, and we've just dived up the inside of him and taken that position. And the two Haas is getting into it, so we've decided to have a look at them. And oh, really chucked it in there. Got away with that one. Aggressive, but we managed it. Now as we chucked one up the inside of Schumacher, Mick Schumacher that is, not our teammate that's in front of us now, we hug the left hand side and go pretty much all the way over the curb, and I was sure we were going to get a penalty for that, or some kind of warning, have to give the place back, but it seemed to be within limits, so we carry on and look to chase down our teammate. But that was quite lucky on our part that we didn't get any kind of penalty for that. Down into turn one, we have a look at Michael, nice and clean, don't touch there, and push him back into his son, as we then look forwards at trying to get onto the tail of Ricciardo in the McLaren.
Brilliant, nice move, keep going.
So we get a nice couple of moves done, start to get on the back of Hamilton and almost put it in the wall. Little bump on the outside wall as well. So our line was compromised, trying what we tried the lap before, and it didn't come off that time. So we have to sit behind Hamilton as we come on to the start-finish straight. But it does feel like we've got the pace on that Mercedes at the moment. We get a good run. Try to go down the outside, have to lift. Hamilton coming over to protect that position. He does move back across and get the move done, and then focus forward onto his teammate. Where was this pace in qualifying? The car feels so much better today, it's unreal. So as we set the fastest lap of the race and then moan about the lack of performance that we had on Saturday, we now look to hunt down the second Mercedes of Russell before our tyres start going off. So we dive down the inside of Russell and actually do it whilst trying to lift and coast, because I've noticed that the fuel is a problem and will be a problem if we don't start fuel saving now. So that is a factor now. Through to the end of lap 5 then, and we are going to dive into the pit lane for our pit stop and hope that we can come out in a decent position to try and chase down those Red Bulls.
And it looks like the pit crew are out in the lane and ready to perform their magic on the car. They're going to be aiming to achieve the fastest pit stop time possible.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
So a 2.8 second stop, a little on the slow side, and that has brought us bang out in the middle of traffic. So got some work to do before we can catch up to where we were pre-pit stop.
Okay, the gap behind is 4.2 seconds.
So as we come down the start-finish straight, passing people that are in the pits, we gain a couple of places, but see that Lewis Hamilton has taken the fastest lap away from us. So that's probably gone for today. I don't think we're going to manage to get that one back. But we are now hot in pursuit of the Alfa Romeo in front of Valtteri Bottas, and we look to try and find a way past him through the twisty part of the circuit, coming up to the castle section pretty soon. Following Bottas closely here, then we go to have a look down the inside, tuck back in, and he locks his wheels. I think he touched the wall as well, so he may have damage, but we get past with an unforced error from Bottas. Rejoining back at the front, race leader Carlos Sainz for Ferrari is about to make his pit stop into the box. No problems there, look very smooth, and Sainz will resume, hopefully in clear air for his sake. Leclerc will continue. There goes the McLaren. So a bit of free air. Good news for Sainz.
Michael is in the pits. Michael in the pits now.
Getting notification from our race engineer that Michael Schumacher is pitting, but we know it's going to be a very close battle with the Mercedes cars on the exit. And Russell is right there, but do we get past him? Yes, we do. Take a big chunk of curb and get on with it now. Further on round the lap then, and we have pulled a gap on George Russell as Max Verstappen takes the fastest lap away from Lewis Hamilton.
Just put up the fastest lap of the race so far.
We ensure to get a good exit so that we can get DRS and get in Perez's slipstream. As we start pulling closer towards him, he moves across to the inside, gives us the racing room. We storm down the outside and take the position. So that's good racing all round, really. Coming to the end of lap 9 then, and championship leader and race leader Charles Leclerc is looking to make his pit stop. He is locked into a battle again, as has been the case for most of the last couple of races, embroiled in a battle with his teammate. So he is going to be coming out on the pit exit. Where is his teammate? There is Carlos Sainz coming round the corner, and he joins and gets into the lead. So Charles Leclerc into second. So while the Ferraris are squabbling at the front, we are settling in a bit further down and are having to try and deal with Perez whilst fuel managing. Towards the end of the race, we're seeing Lando Norris having a fantastic drive in third place. So he's looking to get some really good points for McLaren today.
Sainz has just completed a pass for the lead.
So we get notified about the battle at the front and the two Ferraris going at it hammer and tong, side by side, coming into the DRS zones, and Charles Leclerc is looking to get this move done. While they're doing that, Lando Norris is closing on them. So the Ferraris have got to be a little bit clever here about how they do this wheel-to-wheel battling, because Lando Norris is ready to pounce at any time. And it looks like Charles Leclerc may be getting the better of this one. You'll notice as well that Charles Leclerc has the red striped soft tyres, whereas Carlos Sainz has the hard white striped tyres.
Okay, the incident's been cleared. Let's get back up to racing speed. Come on.
So we join Esteban Ocon, who's running in the points and having a very solid race for Alpine, just in front of the JDM of Michael Schumacher. And the engine blows, so Ocon, his engine decides to give up the ghost, and he is going to have to pull off to the side of the track. Oh, it's absolutely disintegrated. We get ready to enter the final lap whilst fuel managing. You can see we're just straddling between green and red on the fuel readout on the bottom right of the screen there. And we get notified of Esteban Ocon's demise.
7.7 seconds.
Here's your leader then, Charles Leclerc. He has had to fight off his teammate today, Carlos Sainz. But Charles Leclerc comes across the line and wins for Ferrari.
Yes! Let's go, come on, yes! Oh, what a... Oh, amazing. The car was incredible today, really. Well done, guys. What a race and what a pace, I mean.
We managed to navigate the remainder, whilst getting very close to the wall there, the rest of the final lap, and extend our gap to Perez a little bit. As Leclerc wins, we come home from the back of the grid for a nice points paying position.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
So another excellent win from Ferrari. What do you think it was today, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
Here come our winners now, a thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again.
Charles Leclerc with the hat-trick then, and his 5th win of the season. So, and we're not even at the halfway point in the season yet. So Charles Leclerc looking dominant in that Ferrari, the defending world champion of course. They've got a really, really good package this year. So, I mean, it's domination from the boys in red, and everyone else is going to have to step their game up. Time for the results. And Charles Leclerc, obviously, as we just said, takes the win. And Lando Norris keeps the fastest lap point though, so a very, very strong weekend for McLaren. Have to keep an eye out for them in the future. Max Verstappen, 4th place. We get the 5th. And Michael Schumacher also getting a couple of points for us. So a very, very good weekend for JDM, all things considered, especially after starting from the back. Charles Leclerc extends his lead at the top of the Drivers' Championship then, and we close on Lewis Hamilton. So we're in 3rd, right at the top end, and JDM 4th. So a very, very strong season so far. Looking to improve, but Ferrari look extremely dominant. Join us next time as we are going to Canada, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. See you then, and thanks for watching.